Today we are going over some of the most powerful Xyz cards to watch out for in the coming Xyz event. If you enjoy content like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel, it would be really appreciated. And now let's get into these powerful Xyzes. I do have to say, don't go crafting these just yet. There are potentially gonna be limits or regulations that change what the meta might be. Certain things might not be illegal, certain things that are currently illegal might be legal. Again, we don't know anything about that. So it's very possible that cards on this list might not even be viable. This video just tries to inform you about what might be coming up, so you can at least prepare already, look these up, learn a little about the archetypes around them, but don't commit to anything just yet. I will be making videos on these decks and on this event when we have more information. That's also why you should subscribe. Number 1 on this list, Zeus. Zeus is the big boy. Zeus is the big daddy. Zeus is everything you want in life. If you are forced into playing with Xyz monsters, Zeus is probably gonna be super hyper powerful, viable, and so forth. Now again, it's very possible that it's not legal because it's such an auto-include powerhouse. With that being said, if it's legal, it'll probably be in every single deck. Next we have Gerzo, the Orcust card. However, there's a bunch of decks that make this card without being an Orcust deck whatsoever. This card has a billion effects and a billion lines of text. It has protection and destruction and everything. If you can make rank 8s, this is probably gonna be the bad boy that you're gonna make. Another option would be Hope Harbinger. If you go to any deck that makes rank 8s, you go like, oh, what's in your extra? Oh, Harbinger, Gerzo. Alright, duh. So yeah, the next one on the list is Harbinger. It's a spell negate, really solid, also steals the spell, also, you know, gets around battle phase shenanigans and so forth. Very powerful card. If your deck makes rank 8s, it's probably always gonna have a Gerzo and a Harbinger in that extra deck. Next we have Time Thief Redoer. Time Thief Redoer is a really interesting card because it has 3 different effects depending on which kind of material it has, and that material can either depend on your deck doing fancy stuff, like Phantom Knights might have the trap card that acts as a level 4 to rank up into, and that way you get his special trap skill. But you could also just steal something from your opponent and maybe, hey, now you have a new effect on this card. Next we have Dante, a fan favorite, part of mill strategies, the Burning Abyss OG. With that being said, we'll see how strong it will actually be in this format. If your deck mills or works around the graveyard and you have the ability to summon level 3s, this might be a card you want to play. Next we have Abyss Dweller. Speaking of graveyards, this card just says, oh, you used the graveyard? Ha, that's too bad, buddy. So Abyss Dweller has always been a crazy anti-meta card, depending on if the meta becomes graveyard heavy. There's also always been like really unfair decks that go, oh, I want to make an Abyss Dweller and that's really all I'm gonna do. And so in some formats that auto won you games. We'll see if this format is graveyard heavy, and if it is, it's very possible that we'll see a billion Abyss Dwellers in every single game. Next we have Totally Awesome, this cute little Frogo. This is a crazy negate, and it also refunds you one of the materials that you used to make it. In my case, the Toon Player, it gives me back a Toon Mermaid. Wow, so happy. Yeah, I make it with Bahamut Shark, so you know, you Mermaid, Bahamut Shark makes Totally Awesome. And then you get your Mermaid back if you used your Toad. But most people will know this just from Frog decks, which is also really, really fun. Next up, we have Bagushka. This card is pretty versatile. You can either have it in attack and then it's basically indestructible, but it can also be in defense and then it just becomes a skill drain. And not just any skill drain, also a skill drain that forces all of your opponent's shit into defense. So you need to stall a little, you put it in defense until you draw an answer, and then when you're ready to go all out, you put it back into attack and you start playing the game again. Next, we have a card that, in my opinion, will probably be banned for this event. We have Rongo. Now, Rongo with the full material effect, which just says your opponent does not get to play the game, will probably be hard to make and also illegal. But if it isn't, and if people figure out a deck that makes it really reliably, it's not gonna be fun. Next, we have Utopic Draco Future. Once again, this is one of those cards that's modern, you know, it came out recently, and if a deck can make it, Phantom Knights can probably make it. It is also gonna be really powerful, has a negate, has protection, steals a monster, it does a bunch of stuff. Next we have Big Eye, a OG. You make this with level 7s. Not many decks can make level 7s, but if you can, really solid. Big Eye steals a monster, that's it. It's not a long effect, it's not hard, but it's really, really powerful and impactful. Next, we have Calamities. I don't know how easy Calamities is to make when you don't have Virtual World that's able to spit out the level 9 synchros like it's nothing. I'm sure there's people who already have really solid ideas to make this crazy card. I assume if it's easy to make, it will be banned in this event, but maybe it isn't. Maybe this event will truly be the Wild Wild West. It's gonna be harder to make here than the the way Virtual World does it very consistently. Well, consistently, some people call it Brick World, so, you know, consistent is subjective, I guess. And finally, we have Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal. We already had some Burning Abyss goodness on this list, but this card is also extremely powerful. So if we see BA rocking the boat on here, it's very possible that Beatrice and Dante will be hand in hand taking over the format. So that is the list. Again, I'm not claiming that we have all the strong Xyzes on here. There are many out there. If you have some ideas, put them in the comments down below and then we can all learn from each other. Also, if you want to stay up to date with this Xyz event, once we know the rules, once we know what's up with this event, I will be making videos on it on this channel, so be sure to subscribe for that, and I will see you soon. Ciao.